everybody, it's Emily at Arg Schooling, and welcome back to another episode of Homeschool Tidbits. Welcome back to Build Your Library's Homeschool Tidbits. It's been a little while, but I'm back now with episode 72, and we'll be talking about planning and routine in the high school years. In this weekly video series, I'll delve briefly into a topic related to homeschooling, and I'll share some of my knowledge and expertise as a longtime homeschooling mother of 4 children, 3 of whom have graduated, and 2 who are college graduates. My youngest and I just kicked off our 10th grade year, and so I want to chat a little bit about how we create routine and how that routine changes a bit in the high school years. I have a whole video about how I approach planning, so if you want more details about that, you can go check out that video. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail here when it comes to planning, but I do want to touch on it briefly. I've always enjoyed planning out our year, and I think having a solid plan gives us a great framework from which to build a routine. So when it comes to planning in the high school years, I always start with what credits do we need this school year. That will guide our choices in the high school years, but that doesn't mean we can't also have a little fun. This year, my overarching goal was to create a year that we would both find enjoyable. This is my last homeschooling hurrah, and I want to go out with a bang. So some things, of course, like math, are not negotiable. Those are not going to be done in a different way just for fun, but we can embellish on everything else and adjust to our specific preferences. I think it is a false assumption that high school can't be fun. Sure, it's not going to look the same as it does in like the elementary years, but it doesn't have to be rigid or boring just to equal a credit. So to give like a quick example, I knew that we were going to need a world history credit this year, and I also know that history is not my daughter's favorite subject. So I took something that I know she does enjoy, learning about weird and morbid things like cannibalism and serial killers, and I created an entire year's worth of history around that. Now, it's not a linear history course, so I am going to be adding in timeline assignments just to help her keep track of like when everything happens. And we don't have a single spine for the whole year like I would normally do, but rather a series of smaller spines to go with each specific topic. So she's not going to be bored, and we're going to earn that history credit. And if you want to know more about all of that, you can go check out my video that I made about our 10th grade plans called Morbid Curiosities. Now, ensuring that we've hit the necessary credits and now we have a plan in place, now we're ready to delve into how we structure our routine. In high school, I begin to transfer a lot of the learning to my teens' shoulders. I'm still there for moral support and assistance, but I'm slowly beginning to take a back seat. A big part of this is our notebook checklist system. I have also got a whole video on that if you want to go check it out, but the gist is that in a simple spiral-bound notebook, nothing fancy, I bought this at Walmart, but in this simple notebook, I'm going to write a list of our assignments for each day of the week. And this will help us to stay on track and ensure that we're going to get to all the things that we need to do in order to earn those credits. So we always start our day around 8:30 a.m. That's when we get to our read-alouds, which this year are going to include things like history and science and health and civics and literature. We don't do them all every day, but all of those things are covered and we read them together. And yes, I read aloud to my teens all the way through high school. They all have requested for me to keep reading. That means that our homeschool has a book club atmosphere. We can sip our tea or coffee and read and discuss. This is by far the best part of our day. Now, after we finish reading, which takes around 2 hours, I will review the rest of the day's assignments. We'll go through the checklist together just to make sure that we both know what's happening that particular day. Now, the rule is that she has to turn in all of her assignments by the end of the day and bring me back the checklist so that we can be sure that everything is getting done. Sometimes she needs help, and then we'll work together, but most days she just gets it done and gets on with her day. This means my homeschool day is shorter than hers. I'm usually done by noon, if not sooner. And then she goes and works on her assignments until around 2 p.m. or so. Because she has that checklist to work from, there is no questions about what needs to happen or what happens next or any of that, because it's all there for her in the checklist. It doesn't matter what order she does her work in. It doesn't matter how she structures her time, as long as she gets it all done. It's up to her to organize her schedule. Because we've been following this routine since she was small, it's ingrained. This is just how it goes. We'll read together, then math, then the next thing, then the next thing, until she's finished. She knows the drill, and having that routine in place makes our school day go so much easier. The best part of having a routine rather than a timed schedule is that it doesn't matter when things happen. They always occur in the same order each day. So if we oversleep or if we have a doctor's appointment in the morning, we could still jump right back into our routine and still get everything done. It's not going to throw our whole day off track. High school isn't as Instagrammable as the early years, but it can still be just as fun. Having a set daily routine makes it a much more pleasant experience for all of us. If you found this video helpful, I hope you'll check out Build Your Library curriculum. Build Your Library is a secular, literature-rich homeschool curriculum inspired by Charlotte Mason's philosophy of education. Based on nearly 20 years of homeschooling, I created the curriculum that I wished I'd had when I started homeschooling my children. I have spent thousands of hours cultivating the best literature to enhance your children's studies. Our lesson plans make homeschooling simple. Just open them up, gather your books, and go. Our easy-to-use lesson plans include everything you need to homeschool. Just add math. Choose from our full-year K-12 levels, as well as fun topical unit studies and lit bites. With Build Your Library, you will cultivate a home library filled with captivating literature, and you'll raise children who become lifelong learners. So snuggle up with our lesson plans and a great book or three and have your best homeschool year ever. Every month at Build Your Library, we host a giveaway. This month, we are giving away a free download of Self-Education World Cultures Part 1. There are a whole bunch of ways to enter, and one of them is a code. This month's code is Plan Ahead. I'll link more information about the giveaway down below in the description. I hope you found this tidbit to be helpful. Please come back next week for more homeschooling inspiration. Until then, happy reading. Bye!